Ni hao YouTube, what's going on? Saarland to China. Some people were asking me, what kind of books do you actually use to teach German in China? Good question, and let me give you a short overview about the books I use to teach. Oh, I'm still full of chalk here. I was teaching this morning. Which kind of books do I use to teach German in China? Well, first of all, let me show you which kind of books the Chinese teachers use to teach German at our school. This book is called Studienweg Deutsch. They have 4 different levels of Studienweg. This level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. And let me tell you, this book is basically used in all over China to teach German. And this book is actually not bad. You get all the vocabulary and all the grammar you need in order to learn German. It is not very bad, but the speaking parts and the listening parts, so all the listening exercises in this book are rather poor. It is good in vocabulary and grammar, but the rest I don't know. That's why the foreign teachers use a different book which mainly focuses on speaking and listening. And this book is called Themen aktuell. We also have different levels of this book. You see, this is the A1 level, which is equivalent to the European framework. This is the beginner's level of German. And then we have Themen aktuell 2. This is the A2 level. It's kind of advanced beginner's level. And then we have the last one, which is Themen aktuell 3. This is the last one of the series. They only have 3. This finishes with the level B1, Advanced German 1. So, what is the difference and what can I tell you about those books? I am mainly working with the book Themen aktuell. And actually, I think this is a very good book, especially the third one, in terms of listening exercises and speaking exercises. Because in this book, you learn exactly what is demanded in the Goethe Institute tests, like the A1, B2, A2, B1 levels exams. And for the Goethe exams, Goethe Institute exams, and as well for other exams like test stuff, the German as a foreign language test in order to study in Germany, you should definitely learn those books, because all those German tests have approximately the same requirements in listening and speaking skills that are taught in those books. And actually, it is the foreign teacher's duty to improve the Chinese students' listening and speaking skills. And this is why this book is really good for a foreign teacher, taught by a foreign teacher. And let me show you that real quick, what it looks like. You have the different chapters here, and later there is altogether you have 10 units in this book, right? And later you have here on the blue pages you have a revision of the grammar, and later you have a summary of the vocabulary. And as you can see here, the vocabulary is written in German and in Chinese as well. And that is for sure pretty good. So the students can learn the vocabulary in a regular way. And as you can see, it is already written here in Chinese language. So this book is for Chinese, is made for Chinese learners with a translation into Chinese, and this one as well. Let me show you some other differences. I already said the Themen aktuell rather focuses on speaking and listening, whereas the Studienweg Deutsch rather focuses on grammar and vocabulary. So, for example, this book, Themen aktuell, has definitely its weak points in, let's say, methodology and grammar. That's for sure. The grammar exercises in this book are not very well designed for new learners, and also like the approach on how to learn a new language is not very satisfying in those books. So this is why Themen aktuell is being taught together with Studienweg Deutsch, taught by a Chinese teacher, which heavily focuses on pronunciation in the beginning. They have the Vorkurs, so it's kind of a pre-study class where you learn how to pronounce German words, how to pronounce the alphabet. You basically learn that for 3 or 4 weeks, how to pronounce German words. And this is when you really start with learning some nouns, some first verbs, and then later you're being introduced in the structure of the sentence. So this book teaches you German step by step, the written German mainly, and also in the beginning the spelling of the words and the pronunciation and all of that. Whereas this book does it really bad. I will show you that in the beginning. How do we start with this book? They say in the beginning, Guten Tag, ich heiße Frau wie heißen Sie? Ich heiße Halina Obara, mein Name ist Ingrid Lilleruth. Weird names. The first contacts the learner will have with this book is weird German names or weird foreign names, which is kind of annoying. And then they continue that in the same way. You just don't get what they want here. Then you learn how to say hello. You learn how to say how are you doing? I'm fine. Okay. But still, you didn't even learn how to pronounce these words. It's kind of a weird introduction, and especially you can see that here. There is an exercise coming here, a listening exercise, where someone is being asked, what's your name? What's your surname? Where are you from? Where are you living? What's your telephone number? Could you spell your name? So students are right away confronted with a rather difficult listening exercise, and they should also read it. But how can you read this text? How can you spell a word without knowing the alphabet? And how can you spell the telephone number here without knowing how to say the numbers? So I was wondering, is this exercise just for getting a first touch with getting in touch with the German language? Are you supposed to understand the spelling of a word and the spelling of a telephone number, although you're not familiar with the numbers yet? Oh, that's kind of weird. It was confusing me. And you see, there they have a little part of the alphabet, which is, in my opinion, completely useless. They should give some examples, like A, like apple, B, like banana, right? Use the letter in a word. This is what this book does. So this book is much, much better for beginners. And then later on, they start with the numbers, and they give you all the numbers straight away from 1 to 100, which I think is not very useful. You should start with the numbers from 0 to 10, have a short break, do some practice with it, and then later continue 20 to 30, and then if you want to go on, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, but you can't do this in on basically one page. And there is no exercises to exercise your number, no reading exercises, no listening exercises, and they start right away where someone says its name and you have to write it. It's being spelled, the numbers are being spelled, big numbers like this. So this is, in my opinion, not a very good approach to get in touch with German. In my opinion, on the first 3 pages, you will be completely fed up with German if you don't have a teacher that does some pre-classes in advance to prepare the students for this exercise. So this is what you have to do as a foreign teacher. You have to think very carefully about the methodology in teaching this book. This one is not very useful for foreign teachers because there's many things written in Chinese in this book, and it will bring you in trouble during class. So this book is much more useful for foreign teachers, but you have to prepare it well. For example, before I started having a look at this book with my students, I did like a 10 days pre-class in learning the alphabet, learning how to spell all the different letters in the German alphabet, giving them an easy example, right? For example, yeah, as I said, B like banane. And then I gave them an approach to the most important German sentences, like, for example, wie geht es dir? Es geht mir gut. Und dir? And then it helps you a lot when you know the German language, because, for example, the Chinese language, because, for example, when you ask, what is your name? Wie heißt du? Or wie heißt du? My name is, ich heiße. And then you say in Chinese, 你叫什么名字? 我叫. And then you ask the question, 你呢? 你呢? And you. And this is in German, und du. But when you ask, for example, how are you doing? Wie geht es dir? I'm fine. And you? We have the same question, and you, in Chinese, 你呢? And in German, this will not be und du, but it is und dir. For sure, you cannot start teaching this book with introducing the dative case. This is absolutely impossible, but you have to make the students aware that in the beginning there is some things they should learn by heart, give them simple sentences, and give them an easy and straightforward approach to the German language so that they can speak their first sentences. They can have a very first dialogue with you. This is what motivates them. But when you start right away teaching this book, I can tell you it will be a real disaster. The students won't understand anything. So, and this applies basically for the rest of this book. As for the other books, you have, as a teacher, to prepare all of these classes very well in advance and think about a very good methodology in teaching those books, Themen aktuell. And tomorrow I will tell you about some ways and methodologies on how to teach German to Chinese people, because there is some tricks and some methodologies I would like to share with you. I'm a German teacher in China for more than 4 years. If you haven't subscribed yet, please press the subscribe button. There will be a new video from me, Saarland to China, every day. And I already made a lot of videos about teaching German in China. If you're interested in teaching German in China, let me know. My contact is in the description. If you think this video was helpful, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you are Chinese, don't hesitate to ask me any questions about learning German. I'm more than eager to help you. And I hope to see you tomorrow, guys. Check out the links in the end of the description. And see you tomorrow. Bye bye. 再见. And in German, auf Wiedersehen.